a short message for grown-ups.
Come on, everybody, let's go!
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
All new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus.
And our friends are here, like
Pluto, Goofy, Donald, Minnie, Daisy.
Hey, everybody.
and me, Mickey Mouse. Welcome to the clubhouse. I'll be right here.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus, now available on Disney Junior and Disney Plus. Learn more at ondisneyplus.disney.com.
Hello, I'm Sheryl, and this is Sleep Tight, Relax, a weekly bedtime show for anyone who needs good sleep. In tonight's story, we revisit an old fairy tale, a type of story we haven't told in a while. This tale follows a kind-hearted girl named Lily who, despite her brother's unkindness, remains gentle and caring. She receives a magical pot of pink flowers and a silver ring from a mysterious lady. As she works through challenges and uncovers secrets about her true heritage, Lily's kindness and persistence leads to a happy ending where she finds love and transforms her life. Before we start our story, I would like to give you a chance to get cozy and comfortable. Let's begin by taking a few deep breaths together. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, feeling your belly rise. Hold it in for a moment, and then slowly breathe out through your mouth, feeling your belly fall. Let's do this again. Breathe in deeply through your nose, hold it gently, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. As you breathe, imagine yourself surrounded by a warm, cozy blanket. Feel the warmth and comfort envelop you, helping you relax and get ready for our story. One last time. Let's do this again. Breathe in deeply through your nose, hold it gently, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth. Now that you are feeling calmer and cozy, let's begin our story. Lily and the Pot of Pink Flowers. Once upon a time, a poor worker named Tom felt he didn't have much longer to live. He wanted to divide his belongings between his son and daughter, whom he loved dearly. So he called them to him and said, "Your mother left me 2 stools and a straw bed. I also have a hen, a pot of pink flowers, and a special silver ring that a kind lady gave me once. She told me, 'Take care of my gifts, dear. See that you don't lose the ring or forget to water the flowers. As for your daughter, she will be more beautiful than anyone you ever saw. Call her Lily, and when she grows up, give her the ring and the flowers to comfort her in hard times. So take these, Lily," he added, "and your brother Jack will have everything else." The 2 children seemed quite content. When their father passed away peacefully, they remembered his words and divided his possessions as he had told them. Lily believed that her brother loved her, but when she sat down on one of the stools, he said angrily, "Keep your flowers and your ring, but leave my things alone." Lily, who was very gentle, said nothing but stood up, quietly crying, while Jack sat comfortably by the fire. At supper time, Jack had a delicious egg and threw the shell to Lily, saying, "There, that's all I can give you. If you don't like it, too bad." Lily didn't answer, but cried more sadly than ever and went to her own little room. She found it filled with the sweet scent of the flowers, and going up to them said sadly, "Beautiful flowers, you are so sweet and pretty. You are the only comfort I have left. Be very sure that I will take care of you and water you well." As she leaned over them, she noticed they were very dry. So taking her pitcher, she ran off in the clear moonlight to the fountain, which was at some distance. When she reached it, she sat down on the edge to rest, but she had hardly done so when she saw a lady surrounded by helpers coming toward her. 6 helpers carried her train, and she leaned on the arm of another. When they came near the fountain, a canopy was spread for her, under which was placed a sofa of gold cloth. Soon a dainty supper was served on a table covered with dishes of gold and crystal. The wind in the trees and the falling water of the fountain made the softest music. Lily was hidden in the shade, too astonished by all she saw to move. In a few moments, the lady said, "I think I see a young girl near that tree. Ask her to come here." So Lily came forward and greeted the lady shyly, but with so much grace that all were surprised. "What are you doing here, my pretty child?" asked the lady. "Aren't you afraid of thieves?" "Ah, madam," said Lily, "a poor girl who has nothing to lose does not fear robbers." "You are not very rich, then?" said the lady, smiling. "I am so poor," answered Lily, "that a pot of pink flowers and a silver ring are my only possessions in the world." "But you have a heart," said the lady. "What would you say if someone wanted to steal that?" "I don't know what it's like to lose one's heart, madam," she replied, "but I have always heard that without a heart, one cannot live. And if it is broken, one cannot be truly happy. Despite my lack of money, I would be very sad if I couldn't find joy in life." "You are right to take care of your heart, pretty one," said the lady. "But tell me, have you had supper?" "No," answered Lily. "My brother ate all the supper there was." Then the lady ordered a place to be made for her at the table, and herself loaded Lily's plate with good things. But she was too astonished to be hungry. "I want to know what you were doing at the fountain so late," said the lady. "I came to fetch a pitcher of water for my flowers," she answered, picking up the pitcher beside her. But when she showed it to the lady, she was amazed to see it had turned to gold, all sparkling with great diamonds, and the water that it was full of was more fragrant than the sweetest roses. She was afraid to take it until the lady said, "It is yours, Lily. Go and water your flowers with it, and let it remind you that the Queen of the Woods is your friend." The girl threw herself at the lady's feet and thanked her humbly for her kind words. "Ah, good lady," she cried, "if I might beg you to stay here a moment, I would run and fetch my pot of pink flowers for you. They could not fall into better hands." "Go, Lily," said the lady, stroking her cheek softly. "I will wait here until you come back." So Lily took up her pitcher and ran to her little room. But while she had been away, Jack had gone in and taken the pot of flowers, leaving a large cabbage in its place. When she saw the cabbage, Lily was very upset and didn't know what to do. At last, she ran back to the fountain and, kneeling before the lady, said, "Dear lady, Jack has stolen my flowers, so I have nothing but my silver ring. But I ask you to accept it as proof of my thanks." "But if I take your ring, my pretty girl," said the lady, "you will have nothing left. What will you do then?" "Ah," she answered simply, "I will have your friendship. I will do very well." So the lady took the ring, put it on her finger, and mounted her chariot, made of coral studded with emeralds and drawn by 6 milk-white horses. Lily watched her until the winding forest path hid her from sight, and then she went back to the cottage, thinking over all the wonderful things that had happened. The first thing she did when she reached her room was to throw the cabbage out the window. But she was very surprised to hear an odd little voice cry out, "Oh, I am half broken." She couldn't tell where it had come from because cabbages don't generally speak. As soon as it was light, Lily, who was very unhappy about her flowers, went out to look for them. And the first thing she found was the cabbage. She gave it a push with her foot, saying, "What are you doing here? And how did you put yourself in the place of my flowers?" "If I hadn't been carried," replied the cabbage, "you can be very sure I wouldn't have thought of going there." It made her shiver to hear the cabbage talk, but it continued. "If you will be kind enough to plant me by my friends again, I can tell you where your flowers are right now, hidden in Jack's bed." Lily was unhappy when she heard this, not knowing how to get them back. But she kindly replanted the cabbage in its old place, and as she finished doing it, she saw Jack's hen and said, gently picking it up, "Come here, little creature. I need to talk to you about the unkind things my brother has done to me." "Ah, my dear," said the hen, "please don't be upset. I am quite a gossip, and I can tell you some surprising things you'll like to hear. Don't think you are the daughter of a poor worker who raised you. Your mother was a queen who had 6 girls already, and the king was worried that unless she had a son to inherit his kingdom, there would be trouble. So when the queen had another daughter, she was frightened and agreed with her sister, who was a fairy, to exchange her for the fairy's little son. The queen was locked in a tall tower by the king's orders, and when many days went by and she had heard nothing from the fairy, she escaped from the window using a rope ladder, taking her baby with her. After wandering around in the cold, she reached this cottage. I was the worker's wife and a good nurse. The queen gave you into my care and told me all her troubles. Shortly after, she could no longer continue her journey, leaving you in my care. I could never keep a secret, so I told this strange tale to my neighbors. One day, a beautiful lady came here, and I told her so too. When I finished, she touched me with a wand she held, and I became a hen. My husband, who was out when it happened, never knew what became of me. He searched everywhere and believed I must have drowned or been lost in the forest. That same lady came back and ordered that you be called Lily, and left the ring and the pot of pink flowers for you. While she was in the house, 25 of the king's guards came to search for you, but she muttered a few words, and immediately they all turned into cabbages. It was one of them you threw out the window yesterday." I don't know how it was he could speak. I've never heard any of them say a word before, nor have I been able to do so until now. Lily was greatly astonished by the hen's story and said kindly, "I'm truly sorry for you, my poor nurse, and I wish I could restore you to your real form. But we must not despair. Just now, however, I must go and look for my flowers, which I love more than anything in the world." Jack had gone into the forest, never thinking that Lily would search his room for the flowers. She was delighted by his absence, thinking she could get them back without further trouble. But as soon as she entered the room, she saw a mischievous group of squirrels and raccoons guarding the straw bed. When she tried to approach it, they chattered and blocked her way, causing her to step back in frustration. "Oh, my dear flowers, how can you stay here with such troublesome company?" she sighed. Then she suddenly thought of the pitcher of water, hoping it might have some magic power. She ran to fetch it and sprinkled a few drops over the squirrels and raccoons. In a moment, not a single animal was seen. Each one left the room as fast as possible, so Lily could safely take her pot of flowers. She found them nearly dying for want of water and quickly poured all that was left in the pitcher on them. As she bent over them, enjoying their delicious scent, a soft voice that seemed to rustle among the leaves said, "Lovely Lily, the day has come when I may have the happiness of telling you how even the flowers love you and rejoice in your beauty." Lily, quite overcome by the strangeness of hearing a cabbage, a hen, and flowers speak, and by the terrible sight of the mischievous group of squirrels and raccoons, suddenly became very pale and fainted. At this moment, Jack came in. Working hard in the heat had not improved his temper, and when he saw that Lily had found her flowers, he was so angry that he dragged her out into the garden and closed the door on her. The fresh air soon made her open her eyes, and there before her stood the queen of the woods, looking as charming as ever. "You have a naughty brother," she said. "I saw he turned you out. Shall I punish him for it?" "Oh, no, madam," she said. "I am not angry with him." "But suppose he was not your brother after all. What would you say then?" asked the queen. "Oh, but I think he must be," said Lily. "What?" said the queen. "Have you not heard that you are a princess?" "I was told so a little while ago, but how could I believe it without proof?" "Ah, dear child," said the queen, "the way that you speak assures me that, despite your humble upbringing, you are indeed a real princess, and I can save you from being treated like this again." She was interrupted by the arrival of a very handsome young man. He wore a green velvet coat fastened with emerald clasps and had a crown of pink flowers on his head. He knelt on one knee and kissed the queen's hand. "Ah," she cried, "my dear son, what happiness to see you restored to your natural shape by Lily's help." And she embraced him joyfully. Then, turning to Lily, she said, "Charming princess, I know all that the hen told you, but you can't have heard that the breezes tasked with carrying my son to the tower where the queen, your mother, waited for him, left him in a garden of flowers. a fairy with whom I had argued changed him into a pink flower. I could do nothing to stop it. You can imagine how angry I was and how I tried to find a way to undo the mischief she had done. There was no help for it. I could only bring Prince Pink to where you were being raised, hoping that when you grew up, you might love him, and by your care, restore him to his natural form. And you see, everything has come right as I hoped. Your giving me the silver ring was the sign that the power of the charm was nearly over, and my enemy's last chance was to frighten you with her squirrels and raccoons. She didn't succeed. So now, my dear Lily, if you find my son kind and caring, you are free to choose to marry him with this silver ring. Your future happiness is the most important thing. Do you find him worthy of your love? Madam, replied Lily, blushing, you overwhelm me with your kindness. I know you are my mother's sister, and that by your magic, you turned the soldiers sent to harm me into cabbages, and my nurse into a hen. You honor me too much in suggesting that I marry your son. How can I explain the cause of my hesitation? I feel, for the first time in my life, how happy it would make me to be loved. Can you indeed give me the prince's heart? It is yours already, lovely princess, he cried, taking her hand in his. But for the horrible spell that kept me silent, I would have told you long ago how dearly I love you. This made Lily very happy, and the queen, who couldn't bear to see her dressed in her ripped clothes, touched her with her wand, saying, I wished you to be dressed to match your heart and beauty. Immediately, Lily's cotton dress became a magnificent robe of silver brocade embroidered with jewels, and her soft dark hair was encircled by a crown of diamonds, from which floated a clear white veil. With her bright eyes and the charming color in her cheeks, she was such a dazzling sight that the prince could hardly bear it. How pretty you are, Lily, he cried. Don't keep me in suspense, I beg you. Say that you will marry me. Ah, said the queen, smiling, I think she will not refuse now. Just then, Jack, who was going back to his work, came out of the cottage and thought he must be dreaming when he saw Lily. But she called him kindly and asked the queen to take pity on him. What? She said, when he was so unkind to you? Ah, said Lily, I am so happy that I would like everyone else to be happy too. The queen kissed her hand and said, Well, to please you, let me see what I can do for this grumpy Jack. With a wave of her wand, she turned the poor little cottage into a splendid palace full of treasures. Only the 2 stools and the straw bed remained just as they were to remind him of his former life. Then the queen touched Jack himself and made him gentle, polite, and grateful, and he thanked her and Lily 1,000 times. Lastly, the queen restored the hen and the cabbages to their natural forms, leaving them all very happy. Lily and the prince were free to marry as soon as they wished, with great splendor, and they lived happily ever after. If you are still awake, I would like you to whisper to yourself or just say in your mind, I remain hopeful and optimistic no matter the challenges. I treat everyone with fairness and respect. I find happiness in giving and helping others. I am grateful for the small things that bring me joy. I am calm, relaxed, and peaceful. Good night. Sleep tight.